Good morning, dear students. We are already discussing about the abiotic factors in the organisms and populations. So, in the last class, we have completed the water and soil, and in the previous classes, we completed the temperature. So, today we are going to learn about the abiotic factor light. Okay. So, what is the importance of light? What is the use of light? Then, what is the source of light? If we see the source of light and temperature, the source of light and temperature, it is sunlight. Okay. The source of light and temperature is the sunlight. So what is the importance of light to the living organisms? For example, you can take the plants. Green plants can synthesize their own food materials by a process called as photosynthesis. So photosynthesis occurs only in the presence of sunlight. So light is very importance of light. If you take importance of light in living organism, for example, you take the autotrophs. Autotrophs of the green plants is essential for photosynthesis and photoperiodism. Right? Photoperiodism and photosynthesis. Photoperiodism means the duration of light in which the organism is exposing, and in a specific day length these plants can blossom the flowers. Right? That is called as photoperiodism. Then if you take the animals, so in animals the light is essential for foraging food. That means the collection of food, migration, and also light is essential for reproduction. Light is essential for reproduction. So when we are talking about the autotrophs, when we observe the small plants like shrubs, right, and herbs, which are growing under the shadow of large trees, they have been adapted to photosynthesize in low light conditions. So when we go into forest areas, the forest areas are covered by large trees. That means large trees occupies the forest area. Under the shadow of those large trees, we can see the small plants like the herbs and shrubs are growing. But the light is not penetrating. The sunlight is not directly falling on those plants. Then how these plants are photosynthesizing means they have been adapted themselves to photosynthesize under the low light conditions. Then what about the importance of light in water? Whether the light can penetrate into the water, whether all the colors of light, which we call as a visual spectrum of light, is called as VIBGYOR. Whether all the colors of light or VIBGYOR is penetrating into the water means, let us see that one now. Let us see light in water. Right. So if the wavelength of light increases, its energy decreases. So we have taken the lake as an example. Okay. The water. So if you see here, the blue light can penetrate up to bottom of the lake. But when we see the penetration of lights like this, the red light penetrates only to the upper surfaces. So basing upon this, the penetration of light, which algae is growing in which water? Right? So we can see the first one, blue algae can be seen in the surface waters. Blue algae can grow only in the surface water. Then if we see green algae can be grown in the middle of the lake. Then red algae can be seen in the deep waters. So this is one of the important question. Which algae is found in the deep waters? Okay, the algae that is found in the deep waters is red algae. Red algae can be grown in the deep waters. The green algae can be grown in the middle waters. Then which light can penetrate up to the bottom of the lake means you can see the blue light is penetrating to the bottom of the lake when compared to the red light. So red light penetrates only to the surface water. So the blue algae can be grown in the red light and the red algae can be grown in the blue light. So this is about the water. Now let us see the biological effects of the light. Right. So light is an important ecological factor. Right. So light plays an important role in many biological activities of the living organisms. For example, you take in the animals, light influences the pigmentation, light influences the migration, light influences the reproduction, right? Like that, many biological activities and seasonal activities are influenced by the light. Let us see the effect of light on pigmentation. Right? Effect of light on pigmentation of skin. So pigmentation means we know that we can see different type of skin colors. Right? If the people are having more pigmentation, they are more dark. If the people are having less pigmentation, they are fair in color. So this is a simple example I am telling you, right, to understand what is meant by pigmentation. If more pigmentation is present, more dark. If less pigmentation is present, they are fair in color, right? Remember that. So the organisms living in the low light conditions or in the intensity of low light, they have less pigmentation. And the organisms which are living in the intensity of high light conditions or in the intensity of more light, they have more pigmentation and they will be having dark complexion. For example, we take Angvinus proteus. Angvinus proteus is a blind salamander which is living in the caves. In the caves, the effect of light is very less. That means the penetration of light is zero. So when the Angvinus proteus is living in this dark conditions, it is having less pigmentation, right? It is not at all having pigmentation also, we can say. Then when this was kept in sunlight for a long duration, it develops the pigmentation, right? Pigmentation is seen in Angvinus proteus when it is kept in the light for a longer duration. Then response of organism towards the light. Right. What is the response of organisms towards the light? There are two important definitions. That is, one is phototaxis and one is photokinesis. Let us see first one. What is meant by phototaxis? Right. Phototaxis means if an organism moves towards the source of light. That means some organism moves towards the source of light and some organisms moves away from the source of light. So, if an organism is moving towards the source of light, we call that one as positively phototactic. Positively phototactic. For example, you can say euglena. right? Euglena moves towards the source of light for the process of photosynthesis. If the organism is moving away from light, we call this one as negatively phototactic. So what are the examples for negatively phototactic means? You can take the earthworm and even you can take the cockroach. While the earthworm and cockroach moves away from the light means to prevent the dehydration, right? So they are called as negatively phototactic. Then one more word is there, that is phototropism. What is meant by phototropism? Phototropism means it is the movement of a plant towards the source of sunlight, right? It is a directional movement of plants towards the source of sunlight is called as phototropism. For example, you take the sunflowers. Sunflowers blossom in the presence of sunlight and they turn towards the sunlight. So that turning is called as phototropism. Now let us see the effect of light on the animals. What the animals are doing, right? Right, we go with the next one is photoperiod. So photoperiod means this is the sunlight, sunrise and sunset. So what is meant by photoperiod? Photoperiod means it is the duration of light between the sunrise and sunset. Okay, duration of light between sunrise and sunset is called as photoperiod. Or you can simply say that the duration of light that exposes on an organism, or if an organism is exposed to a sunlight during the day, is called as photoperiod. So what are the effects of photoperiod? Photoperiod is essential for blooming of flowers, and some organisms undergo a reproduction in specific day length, and some organisms migrate depending upon the duration of light. So for example, you can take migration of birds. Migration of birds. If you take the migration of birds, generally the birds migrate from southern hemisphere to northern hemisphere, right? If you take the birds like Siberian crane, right? The Siberian crane migrates to India. When in Siberia, when there is a winter season, they migrate from there to India for breeding and for breeding and for the breeding purposes. And once again, when winter comes here, they move back to the Siberia. So why the birds are migrating from that from Siberia to India means only for the breeding purposes. Because in winter, due to accumulation of fat, the gonads are not at all productive at that time. So due to that, they migrate for a longer distances by utilizing that fat. So when they come to India, they are easily they can undergo reproduction. Alright, let us go for the next one, bioluminescence. Next one is bioluminescence. What is meant by bioluminescence? Living organisms emit light. So the light emitted by living organisms are the cold light emitted by living organisms, right? So living organisms emit light. So this is a cold light, and infrared rays are absent. Okay, it is a cold light and infrared rays are absent. So due to absence of infrared rays, it does not have any heat. Why the light is emitted by the living organisms? In these organisms, there is a protein called as luciferin. Luciferin reacts in the seawater in the presence of an enzyme called as luciferase. This luciferase emits light. Okay, so the living organisms which are living in the seawater consists of an enzyme, consists of a protein called as luciferin. In the presence of an enzyme luciferase, they emit the light. So what are the examples that can emit light means? The ctenophores emit light, then jellyfishes, Phytopteras, etc. These organisms emit the light. So this completes about the bioluminescence. Now let us see the next one. Very important one is biological activities or biological clocks. Right, we are going for the next one. Biological rhythms. So what are biological rhythms? These are endogenous activities. That occur precisely at the same time. Right? The endogenous activities that occur precisely at the same time are called as biological rhythms. If the biological rhythms occurs in a 24 hours of duration, we call that one as circadian rhythms. Right? So what are the biological rhythms that occurs in the 24 hours of duration means going to the sleep. That means going to the bed at the same time every day, waking up at the same time with every day without the help of alarm. So some people wake up at 5 o'clock every day without the use of alarm. Then it is also called as a biological rhythm. Okay, and some people will have a bowel movements at the same time every day. That is also a biological rhythms. So the rhythms which occurs in 24 hours of day and night are called as circadian rhythms. So circadian rhythms are very important for the NEET. They will be asking you what are the rhythms which are called as circadian rhythms means the rhythms in the body or the functions of the body which occurs precisely at 24 hours of duration is called as circadian rhythms. Right? The seasonal rhythms that occur in a duration of 1 year are called as circannular rhythms. Right? So all these rhythms are controlled or regulated by an endogenous clock present in our body, which is called as biological clock. Or biological clock is nothing but suprachiasmatic nuclei. The suprachiasmatic nuclei which is present in our brain acts as the biological clock. So this completes about the biological rhythms.